referees doing their job. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes, you know, who are working with Relic, who get the games moving and organize everything, helping us out a little bit. So credit to them. But I'm been really excited for today.
I have. We're well rested now. We've done a full day yesterday, but we had a good night's sleep, and you know, and we're very excited because this is where we come into our own, casting great games like we're going to be bringing you very, very shortly.
Yep. And it'd be interesting because Helping Hands and DevM, they carry a follower base of their own as 1v1 players. Be interested to see who is here and who's supporting what players in our third place game today. Helping Hands, DevM, Von Asten, Isildur. Show your love for them in the chat throughout this game. They will. We know that they watch it back, so they will read your comments.
Well, whoever gets the most energy from chat, I think that will give them a boost. I believe in the spiritual realm of Twitch energy giving. I don't believe in any other mumbo jumbo except for that. And whoever gets the most support in Twitch chat probably will win the game.
There you have it. All right, well, we are about ready to go in. So with that, let's go into game one.
Victory is ours.
Hello and welcome to an incredible 2 vs 2 competition. The winners of this will be getting $1,250. It's the third place playoff for the Anniversary Classic. You're looking at, on paper, the best tournament player in the game's existence. It's DevM and his teammate, Helping Hands, the most popular player in Company Heroes, a damn fine player and the best Brit player we've ever seen. But their opponents aren't any slouches.
That's right. Their opponents on the south side of Crossing in the Woods, playing as the OKW today, will be Isildur and his teammate Von Asten as the Austere. Crossing in the Woods. We love this map. It is a brilliant map. Should we just talk a little bit about the maps in Company Heroes? This one is divided by a river that runs through the center. The river, of course, provides negative cover, and that means when crossing it, players are going to be really, really careful here.
Originally, this map was a little bit slower, so they actually removed the river, and now it's like a dried-up riverbed. But we've been casting this game for a long time, so it's still a river. But Crossing in the Woods certainly is that. It's a crossing, and it's actually quite a spread map. It may look like a square, but a lot of the maps in this game are a little bit more rectangular, and they have their 3 lanes. In this map, it's a little bit more spread, which is great for factions like the Wehrmacht. So you've got the Axis factions in the south, you've got the Wehrmacht and the OKW, the Oberkommando West. And with their better machine guns, so that'll be Von Asten's MG42 he'll have out somewhere on the map.
Von Asten is here.
He'll be trying to control the fuel point. There's +7 fuel just to the east here. He'll have been spotted around about now, so it's all about a battle. And what's this? We've got the sniper from DevM.
Yep, DevM went for that sniper straight away, and it's important to point out when you see players tech for the sniper, it means that they're a little bit slow getting units onto the field. He's had to build tier 1 and then get the sniper out, because there's only 2 units on the field, and that means that Axis actually should get a lot of map control here.
They really should. We do have the Universal Carrier as well, so Helping Hands will be trying to push the west side of the map and make up for his teammates DevM's slow start. But the sniper may be a slow start, but it can be the beginning to a great end for your opponent, because if the sniper goes uncontested, the manpower bleed it will cause to the opponent's economy can become unsurmountable. Or insurmountable, rather. But anyway, Volksgrenadier is now facing down the barrel of a very mobile gun.
Yeah, sensible decision to retreat there. Not much that those Volksgrenadiers are going to be able to do against the Bren. They don't unlock their Faust snaring device until they get a tech tier up, so no chance to count that unit.
Sound like a mad scientist there. I have invented a new contraption. It's the Faust snaring device. It's marvellous. Slows the engine down to a crawl. And here we go. Got the Grenadiers running away. Fantastic component to Company Heroes. Your units have to run away to stay alive. Keep the squad alive. Keep the manpower investment, in principle, alive.
This is a really tricky start to the game here for allies. DevM has got to do a lot of work with the sniper. As you mentioned, over time the manpower bleed is what hits from the sniper. The constant reinforcing of those little models that get dropped here and there. And as we see, like 20 minutes into the game, it equates to thousands in manpower. So that sniper is a focus point for Axis to deal with from the start.
Look at this, by the way, the MG42 of Von Asten. He's actually getting ambush camouflage upgraded right now on his doctrine, which will mean he'll be able to passively cloak and then unleash a buzzsaw of machine gun fire upon the opponent with superior stats. This game has a lot of tactical nuances like that. You have to play it to learn it, and the more you learn it, the more beautiful it becomes.
You actually see the burst there. I think it's increasing damage on that first burst and instant suppression of the penal battalions from the start. The Grenadiers, you see them, they're overstepping their mark in this territory, trying to get shots off on the sniper, and I don't think... Oh, actually, something hit them there.
Maybe in the trail end of... It could have just been... two Car 98k rounds hitting in unison.
Very difficult retreat for the Volksgrenadiers here. They're going to have to cross the negative cover of the river early on. One model left, and it gets taken down. I think that's the first squad wipe of the game for Isildur. Isildur there just laying some mines in case that Bren gun comes into his territory.
Good pickup for Helping Hand versus Isildur there. You do not want to lose a full squad like that, especially so early in the game. This should now allow Helping Hands to branch out and try and push for that fuel point. What is in the west of the map keeping him away from that fuel point at the moment? There's something in the garrison, I believe. Let's have a little look at that. Volksgrenadiers are just camping out and trying to protect the fuel because the economies of this game, you want to try and get tanks out ASAP in order to push yourself into that mid-game portion with something that packs a punch.
Absolutely, and it looks like Axis are going to have a great lead into that as they're about to command double of the fuel resource, and that means you can see the resource incomes on the bottom of the screen. Plus 16 for the Allies at the moment, plus 26 for the Axis. That's about to increase yet again when fuel in the east is capped, and with the scout car on the field already, I'd say it's going to be the start of a long game for the Allies.
It is, but they've got the 6-pounder coming out. As I say, they did pick up that squad wipe, so their manpower economy is superior to their Axis opponents. 222's on limited time to make an indent upon the Allied team. The scout car is going to have to be mobile, it's going to have to be vicious, it's going to have to eviscerate units where it finds them.
See that the Brits here, Helping Hands, he's managed to break the OKW front line in the west. Now he's going to go for the fuel, and it's essential they get hold of this fuel and take it. Devem started to push through the middle in the earlier part of this game, so he's going to be able to support Hands if he has any contest on the left.
Important to realise why he's pushing up through the middle. Who's these mines, by the way? Are they OKW
These
mines?
are OKW
yes,
mines.
indeed. So the 222 can operate around them and not be flanked by anything, and it'll be okay. We also have, by the way, Isildur is building the Panzer II light tank, which is very good anti-infantry. So for a while, you'd think on paper, if the Axis can keep away from the anti-tank guns, they should be able to push the Allies away. But if we check out the centre right now, you'll notice that the sniper's been very active. The penal battalion with the upgraded PTRS are being rifle-naded, but somehow dodged it. And they're being a meat shield for the sniper. This is what makes DevM a superior sniper player in Co 2. You don't have the same cloaking ability as Co 1, only in cover. So what he does is he creates a meat shield for the sniper to operate behind.
Yeah, he plays the sniper very well, and of course this is a sniper map. What you're looking at right now is the Panzer II Lux, which is coming on the field with support of the scout car, though that scout car does need to be repaired. The Lux, as you've mentioned, is going to be a great unit to deal with the Bren, and I think we see him crossing the river at the moment, but he's got to be careful for mines from the British. Although Helping Hands actually doesn't have any sappers out yet and won't have been able to lay anything. So hopefully Isildur doesn't call his bluff.
I'll have to wait and see. It is a game that is very remarkably similar to poker in some ways with regards to calling bluffs, etc. and not playing your hand. Here we go, PTRS do not have access to the anti-tank section because they didn't quite have the munitions at that point in time. So the munitions count of DevM then was only 43, and they need 45 to throw the satchel. Brutal, fine lines there.
I think DevM was kind of predicting that he'd get it, you know, just as a surprise kind of thing, but didn't work out. Timing a little bit off.
Here we go, the Lukes behind trees, just trying to hit away at those Tommies, but they are behind green cover, so they're very well protected. Superior reduced damage and reduced received accuracy.
There you see that cloaked MG42 immediate suppression on the penal battalions, and you'll see that one of the models I think is was still inside the cone there, so is resulting in this whole squad still being suppressed.
Well, if Jeff's down, you're down. You know, you don't leave your buddies behind, do you, as a squad? Jeff suppressed, boys, get down.
Everyone else get down.
Light artillery barrage firing from the Zis gun of DevM. That can catch people off guard. It is has a little bit of a price increase in a recent balance patch, but it's still a damn good utility. Here come the Grenadiers looking for the sniper. Trying to find it. Oh God, but there is a mine and a machine gun waiting.
And the sniper takes the shot in the retreat as well, picking off a model as they're running away. You know, DevM is a master of trickery like that. And you see here, look at this infiltration grenades on the retreat.
That could be dead. That could be very dead indeed. The Lukes will finish it off. There you go. So it's one squad wipe for one squad wipe. 1-all in this early period of this brutal battle.
There's a PTRS to pick up there. Of course, Company of Heroes, the squads can drop their weapons, can be recrewed by your opponent. And now we have a situation, Volks Grenadiers about to be suppressed by the Maxim. They get an incendiary grenade off, which means that Maxim needs to either move or retreat. And Isildur there is pushing up. I think they're still trying to get that sniper. They haven't found the opportunity. DevM now at 17 kills in 9 minutes with that sniper.
That's a hell of a lot. Of course, it's around 13 kills to pay for itself. So now every single kill is manpower attrition.
So Hans has been putting up a serious fight in the west for the fuel. Of course, he's been pushed away at near every opportunity. And now you've got Von Asten and Isildur together on this side. The Raketten forced away the Bren gun, and with support of the Lukes, there's not really much chance of these Tommies getting on the fuel on the left.
We've got the Stuka Zufus coming out for Isildur, so very early rocket artillery. Dan and I cast a very macabre Armageddon-orientated tennis game yesterday, where it was literally just all rocket artillery. And we just watched the carnage unfold. So here's to hoping this game doesn't quite, debase itself to that point. But it is a very vital tool in any army, and 2 versus 2 for certain. Scout car's just getting around the cusp of the garrison there. It's going to be protected, but any of these Lee Enfield rifles can just take it out. It's hiding behind a tree.
Is he going to try and get away on the edge of the map?
If he does, he's a hero.
If he does, he's an absolute hero.
He's going to have to wait, though. The Grenadiers are trying to save his life. Here comes a Stuka Zufus. Will it save it? Has it been a sacrificial scout car? Oh.
No, they've gone for a position I don't really understand. The scout car did get destroyed by the Tommies. It was a nice idea.
I wish they'd saved the life and it was like a suicide scout car. That would have been so cool.
But, you know, that's exactly what Helping Hands needed. He's got upgrade, bolstered squads now, and his Tommies have 5 models instead of 4.
But look at that mine on the west, Dan. Look at that mine. They're all heading towards it. Oh, imagine if they hit it. Oh, I saw something possibly evolving there. Sniper's just been pushed away by Volks Grenadiers.
Loving the teamwork here. Isildur taking a green cover position with the long-range rifles of the Volks Grenadiers. Pioneers push in with their close-range weapons to try and get the Penal Battalions down, but no luck. No, those Penal Battalions are quite strong. They're a very, very strong Soviet unit.
I think it's not necessarily they have like strength stats, aka like reduced received accuracy or better health pool or armor. It's more that they actually do damage compared to conscripts. So it feels like they push their opponents out of cover, push them away, and they just survive better as a result. Conscripts are very, very fleshy unit.
Isildur here will be confident going in with the Lukes because the Brits don't have a factional snare ability outside of a commander yet. Important to say yet, as that's something that will be changing. But it does mean the unit like the Lukes only really has to fear mines and the AT guns on that side of the map for the moment.
Lukes is just operating with, I was going to say with impunity, and then it faced down the barrel of that ZIS divisional field gun and is pushed away for repairs. Elsewhere, Grenadiers are having a real tough time of trying to get into battle there. There's is it 2 machine guns, or it's just the Vickers?
There's 2 machine guns there, and as you can see, like, they got suppressed. In fact, all of those models got suppressed straight away. We're now seeing Von Asten trying to flank around the arc of this machine gun. A mine goes off, well-placed mine, I think, by Hands there. And what do we have from DevM here? I think he's brought the T-70 out from his Tier 3.
The backbone of the Soviet army. The T-70 stops the Soviets being just a defensive kind of early game capping faction and makes them fully operational with regards to being lethal. T-70, a very good little light tank, gets around the back and wipes squads. Kettenwerfer just hiding there. They've painted themselves the exact colour of the ground beneath them. It's very painstaking work. They're all given a field paintbrush set, and they're told to paint themselves the exact colour of the ground beneath them.
It's the same technology that's gone into the Blackbird, you know, the stealth plane.
Exactly. Amazing engineering.
Oh! Pinpoint accuracy from the Lukes takes down the 3 models of the Maxim.
Oh, will the Penal get there, though? It's a race. It's a race. They're trying to get there in time, and they miss it.
It's going to satchel it. Surely he's going to try and satchel it.
Well, the ZIS gun's firing. 1 one more shot like that. Oh, couldn't quite get it. And we've had a dodged infiltration grenade. Here come the Tommies, forcing the Grens away.
That's a big loss for DevM. So without the suppression that he has, the sniper is now going to be really vulnerable to more pushes. He probably needs to invest in something again.
Can we check out the sniper's kill stats, please? I just want to have a little look to see how he's doing. He's got 21, so he has slowed down a little bit. I think that's just been pushed around a bit and not been able to act with impunity thanks to the Panther 2. Here are the overall stats. You can see it's vaguely even. Strategically, Dan, this game is anybody's for the taking right now, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing big has happened. The VPs at the top, of course, VPs in this game are what you fight for. These are the red stars or the blue stars or the white stars, depending on who owns them. They'll, of course, make the ticker at the top go down. You've got to get your opponent down to 0. But yeah, nothing serious. No big units lost so far. Nice to see that Von Asten's got Minesweepers up on his Pioneers. That's going to allow him to progress into enemy territory without fear of losing models, as we've been seeing a lot of this game already.
We'll just give a quick shout out to the fact that, of course, we do have record viewership for Coming Heroes 2 live casts right now. Just put !info in chat brackets as well. Just do a little bit of reading about what it is you're watching, because what it is you're watching is a very intense and exciting third place playoff between two excellent 2 versus 2 teams. Here comes the Stuka though. The bombs are falling. Oh, there's a sniper, by the way. Got wiped out! Counter sniper was built for Helping Hands and was immediately obliterated when the bombs fell.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. You see the camouflage there on the Grenadiers. They managed to get a fast off on the T-70. And DevM, whilst having to listen to the screams of Helping Hands in his headset right now, has also got to deal with Von Asten on the right-hand side. The Brumbear came onto the field for Von Asten. Interesting, this unit is great against support weapons and infantry. So there's a lot of anti-infantry being built from Axis at the moment.
DevM's going for another Zisk. And what's his Helping Hands have, by the way? Is he any? He's nowhere near close to... He still has one 6-pounder. One's just been wiped. He's now going to have to bring in the Universal Carrier, which has got... Oh, it's been taken out as we speak. One more shot required. Going to reverse to victory there, seemingly. Oh, there's a rifle nade on the west. Oh, nearly wipes out that Tommy's. Just about. Oh, and the Raketenwerfer is now taking out the AT gun.
Yeah, this is sensible. He's using the attack ground to try and destroy this decrewed AT gun so that Hans doesn't get one back. It's going to force him to invest more manpower into AT. And Hans is in a bad position right now, so that's a great idea.
Interestingly, Hans has gone for the Churchill. He's gone for Anvil, which is one of the 2 British doctrines, Anvil or Hammer. You get either an aggressive or a defensive unit in each tier or building that you build. And it just adds a little flavour on how you can play the faction each and every time. You've also got commanders. He's not chosen his commander yet. So there's so many ways to play the game, and that's why this game still feels so fresh in 2018.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. That's a big hit from the Brumbear. 2 models wiped, a lot of health dropped. Then the MG finishing off another one of the models. The Brumbear is really tough to deal with. In fact, you need a lot of AT to deal with this unit, otherwise it's left to its own devices. It's now actually pushing the AT guns away. There is no threat from the T-70 in this situation. Great idea to push in.
Stuka's also firing, I believe, or I heard something similar. There it is. Yes, indeed. It's a double whammy. Brumbear through the centre, Stuka in the west. And I tell you what, Von Asten and Isildur are looking dangerous right now.
Yeah, they came into game 1 talking business, and there's been no disappointment, I think, at all from them. The build order's very good, although they need to be careful right now. The Brumbear, a great flank from Helping Hands, entry of the Cromwell.
Oh, it's the Cromwell, fair enough. I thought that was the Churchill. I can't make out my unit portraits to save my life. You would not have me as a spotter in your tank reconnaissance unit. That is, of course, the Cromwell, great medium tank, 110 fuel, a great investment for Helping Hands, with immediate dividends taking out that Brumbear.
I mean, it's true, you play with the screen a lot closer normally.
I am blind. Dan's pushed the screen back for me today. I'm like, what am I watching? It's fine. I can see.
I'm writing down the factions.
I'm like, he's putting it in Braille for me. It's absolutely fine. Oh, here we go.
Satchel.
That tree's dead.
Narrowly avoided. So, with the Brumbear down, I mean, this is actually a good turnaround for Helping Hands and DevM. I mean, they haven't had map control. It's important to note that they are suffering in resources. Hands has gone for Mobile Assault Regiment and is just bringing out the Land Mattress long-range indirect fire tool.
It is the ultimate resident sleeper. It will put your opponents in a permanent slumber. Her Majesty's Land Mattress is a human-propelled rocket artillery piece that just proliferates the field with fire, and it looks rather beautiful. You will see a lot of that game. Somebody in chat asked, how old is this game? It's surprisingly old. 2013, technically released, but it's way beyond its time, and PCs now, modern PCs can play it and make it look beautiful, and it certainly does, and we'll be seeing a lot of pyrotechnics on display as this game progresses.
Do you know, I brought a GTX 1080 just to play this game in its highest ever, because it's so beautiful. It really is. When you see it for yourself and you're playing.
And here we go. We've seen it for ourselves right now. Land Mattress proliferating this machine gun with fire. Could actually finish it off with a stray rocket, perhaps. Sternbinders are brave, aren't they?
They are. This is a Terminator squad. They care not for the Land Mattress. Oh, big hits there. We've got the AT guns on barrage mode. And they're trying to deal with this MG emplacement. This MG emplacement, by the way, has held the right on its own for a majority of the game. All because of that camouflage. It's such a great ability from the commander. Stuka's firing again.
Oh, it's constantly causing Hands problems. And there's another problem, as AT gun yet again is decrewed. Meanwhile, Sturmgewehr's firing and infiltration grenades being lobbed. Pushing himself forward, he destroyed the cover there with expert precision. Here comes the Panzer II Lux to finish the job, perhaps.
I think he's feeling confident about this. He's taking the AET gun down a lot of times, so he knows he's got the accuracy on the Stuka. All he needs to do is get that synergy, drop the Stuka down, you know, come in with a lot of units and close the gap into the base territories. Double Raketten surprising the Cromwell there, taking it down near half health and forcing the retreat. Great push from the Isildur.
They've pushed in unison, and everything they have done for the past 5 minutes of play has worked. They haven't had many questions posed to them by the allies in the north that they haven't been able to answer with authority.
Look at this, the barrage from the AT gun trying to get this MG42 down. It's been such chaos in this game. They haven't managed once to get past it on this side of the map.
They haven't, no. They do hold 3 victory points at the moment, which is going to cause heavy bleed. Push forward away from the satchel thrown by the penal battalion, no damage done. First Grenadiers are now going to be able to harass the cutoff and just mean that Helping Hands and DevM can't strategically control the map thanks to the missing jigsaw piece puzzle that is going to be taken out and ripped away. Here's the tactical map to display exactly what I'm talking about. Those blue territories to the east are no longer connected to the base territory, meaning they are out of possession and resources are not flowing to the northern combatants.
Yeah, resource denial is such a huge factor in Company of Heroes games because you don't want your opponent getting those big tacks out. But even better is the strategy, and look at this. Rakettens again managing to land 3 shots. The Land Mattress from Hands has something to say about it though, and will they be able to survive the retreat?
They will. The Land Mattress is one of those rocket artillery pieces that is more about area of denial. If you stay in it or if you're caught up in it for a prolonged period, you're going to get decimated. But if you react fast enough, you can get out of there. Company Heroes has a lot of facets to its play, and skill and ability to react are still part of it. It is an RTS at the end of the day. First Grenadiers with a bad retreat path there.
That is the bad retreat path, 1 model in the Vet 3 squad. Where's the Stuka going?
Oh, it's trying to save the retreat path there, and the First Grenadiers live couldn't do it. Did lose the squad. And what have we had coming out here? It is, of course, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. The Panther is on the battlefield.
Now, the Panther, I think, is an interesting choice because the Allies don't really have much in the way of vehicles right now. It's like, do you want to invest more in anti-infantry? But I guess he can leave that to Isildur. But Isildur's also gone for a Panther, so double Panthers in on the field at the moment with the support of a Lux. This is a great position to be in for Game 1. Yeah, very strong showing from
the Allies don't have enough fuel to build any tanks, but should they build any, those tanks are going to be obliterated because the Panther in this game is an anti-tank specialist. It's very mobile, it's got excellent long barrel, which means it's got great range and great penetration values, and it's got great armor penetration values for itself, so it can go toe-to-toe with any tank in the game and do very well. The Cromwell is shaking in its metaphorical boots.
This is you, remember, on the binoculars, looking completely the wrong direction.
Dan, where's the enemy? Is it over here? That's a tree. Oh, okay.
What's that? It's moving.
The trees move in this game. The trees are alive. We all know that. Panther just surveying the battlefield here. Cromwell going to nope out of that situation very shortly. Yep, there you go. Hit and penetrated, of course.
Command Panther, of course, coming from the Special Operations Doctrine, a commander for OKW. It's a unit that doesn't really receive veterancy stats itself, but it will buff other tanks around it as it picks up veterancy. So as the game goes on, as it builds up veterancy, it will mean that the Axis vehicles become stronger and stronger.
The Allies are seemingly being able to hold victory points, it must be said, somehow. Seems like they've done some capping around the sides, and that's a trap strategically your opponent can fall into. If they were to, example, build 2 Panthers and then you go for a completely support weapon orientated and infantry based build, you can just make them redundant. They occupy a large amount of population cap. In this game you get 100 population to work with, so if you've got a Panther apiece, that's 24 pop cap you're not able to utilise anymore.
Yeah, we actually sometimes see players who hit that pop cap and then struggle a little bit because they can't reinforce their units and can create situations. There's a lot to consider when playing Company of Heroes. Where are we seeing this Stuka at the moment? It's on the sniper!
Oh my lord! That was a big one. The sniper somehow stayed alive. The Tommies were rather decimated. They're very expensive. That could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't that bad for the Axis anyway. 6 Pounders found a target in the east there. What's it found? The Panther being forced away for the moment.
Yeah, it's the... You know, actually, I just think it's not like Devon really has had a bad game here. He's struggling to find opportunities. It's very difficult when your opponent has cloaked units. I think that's one of the really hard parts of this, is the way that Von Asten's been playing causes a lot of frustration. Where have we got the land mattresses firing at the moment? They're actually going to be on the AT guns.
Pack 40's being decrewed. So much AT for Von Asten and Isildur that they won't miss it for the small amount of time. Well, it might actually end up dying. Great thing about the land mattress, it could end up destroying the vehicle here. Panther command tank pushing in. Cromwell in its wake, forced to retreat. French Grenadiers, the Sturmgewehrs offering more than a match for these Royal Engineers, but they do have the Vet 3 Vickers machine gun backing them up, so Hoppenham did a good job there in general to keep that situation, keep the central victory point for now at least. Elsewhere in the east, it seems that penal battalions are up against 3 MP40s, so they should be able to force away their opponents here. Zis gun firing, what's it seeing?
It's always the Panther on this side at the moment. Devon knows he's going to be able to get some shots there, and you don't want to be dropping too many shots on the Panther because the AT gun's going to be getting veterancy, and obviously the higher veterancy we see, stronger these units become, so... Oh,
I love something that Werfs Panzers, and the Panzerwerfer is the Panzerwerfer of choice for you. It's a fantastic thing. It's got 10 rockets, it scoots around, and then it's also got an MG34 that it barely ever uses. And it's a one-salvo beast. It literally just gets rid of its
here it is.
allotment of rockets in one go. I'm filtering myself, of course. And here we go. Where's its target of choice?
I think we know where it's going to be. Oh, I think he predicted the retreat path, but not well enough.
And also, whenever Dan and I hype something up too much, nothing ever happens.
No. But the Panzerwerfer, I mean, you know, people complain about it sometimes, but close range, when the radius is small, obviously the closer you are, the more accurate your indirect fire is. You know, it's like, it can be devastating when it does hit.
Yeah, people complain about stuff that's bad for them, don't they? I've noticed that. Here we go, though. We've got the IS-2 heavy tank, the Iosif Stalin tank. It's got 60 tons of Stalinium. That's pure Soviet-grade Stalinium. It's very tanky as a tank goes. But you don't want to face it the wrong way, Devem. Keep it facing the right way. There's a good chap. Keep that frontal armour facing. Nope, still being penetrated. Got to reverse that big 122mm cannon away now. Not the best engagement. Needs to be supported. Heavy tanks in this game aren't one-man armies. You've got to support them.
Helping Hands there, he's managed to smoke the Raketin to stop it from taking shots, forcing Isildur to use ground attack. There's a land mattress firing on the West VP. Now it comes down, Panther against IS-2. Does Von Asten feel like diving? It's a little bit risky and he doesn't want to lose his Panther, so pulls out the engagement. This is a game where you have to know when to dive.
But here comes the other Panther of Isildur. He's going to go round the AT guns, try and find a Hail Mary shot, but the AT guns temporarily blocked him. He sees a gap. Will the other AT gun block him? He's going to try. Good play by Devem to block the Panther's path there. Keep the IS-2 alive. Here come the Focus Grenadiers to the west of that, though. They're going to push in and try and get a mighty Faust off on the IS-2. Anything will take out this huge 630 manpower investment. Did he just get taken out from afar there?
No, he's still on the field at the moment. It's just one of the AT guns. IS-2 is back in the base right now. It all comes down to these Volks Grenadiers. What are they doing? We're going to see as well, I think this is a Panzerwerfer.
It is indeed. Where's it going to hit? Oh, it's on base! They wiped a squad, nearly takes the IS-2. They were listening in the fog of war for the engine noise, nearly located it.
He got the sniper. You got to him a sniper with that.
Oh, was it the sniper?
It was the sniper that went down, yeah. So, again, lovely. But do you know what I mean? He just drives the Panzerwerfer up, launches it into the base, and comes back afterwards. Are we seeing the Stuka firing again? I think this is center.
Just trying to keep that victory point.
Yep. And, you know, he's got the Stuka ready, just wants to stop allies from getting onto the VPs. Allies have got 115 VPs left at this point, and this is a pressure situation. They're very close to losing game 1 right now.
Strategically, the meta of this map for this series, the best of 5, they will have another go on this map, reversing the factions. This map, statistically speaking, is an Axis-favoured map. It's a little bit more open, and some of the Axis tools work better on this map. So it will now be in the hands of Helping Hands and Devon, probably, unless they stage a miraculous comeback, probably in Game 2 to get a better victory point score and attain dominance in this overall series.
Von Asten managed to get a light artillery barrage here, which is nothing more than annoying if you're trying to get out of your base, and you've got to walk through a light shower of indirect fire.
It's also very cocky. It's when your opponents is ally being your bushes outside your base. It's a bit of BM as well. And here comes a Panther. Again, the IS-2 is getting Raketin Werft. Panther's getting some great shots off, and the IS-2 has been rather useless.
Yeah, do you know what? They mistimed the Faust there, though. I think they were trying to get... where are we? Oh, okay, of course, it's Hands with the land mattress.
It is. He's land mattressing himself. It's a moment of Harry Curry there. And AT guns firing more rocket artillery. This game yet again has devolved down into macabre tennis Armageddon. Tree being pushed away by the Sherman Firefly. Here comes a big one though. And that's casting very much starts to become, oh, look Jeffrey, another whopper.
This is where I tilt the camera down so I can get a little bit more on the screen, because it's very difficult and there's so many rockets.
Oh, and so many shells firing across the pond there. Sherman Firefly. Yeah. Minute 30 to minute 31. How we hardly knew ye.
Look at that return, though. Do you know that return on the AT guns with the barrage to destroy one of the Pak-40s? Now we have, I think, another Panzerwerfer on the field somewhere. There's so much artillery going on right now. Helping Hands using the land mattress. The Lux is trying to defend the VP in the center, and they're sneaking a Raketin in to stop the decap.
No, yeah, exactly. To stop the decap. And my is that it isn't going to happen for the Allies in this game. They will not capture a single other victory point because the Axis have dominance right now, and there's nothing they can do about it. Well played to Von Asten and Isildur. We've got roughly 18 seconds of this game left before we head into Game 2.
Absolutely. 15 VPs remaining, and there's no chance for them to capture a VP. What a confident game from Von Asten and Isildur. They look very strong coming into the series.
They really do. And it's a great dominant showing. I mean, they do have the slightly better faction matchup, but doesn't matter because they had the perfect execution.
Victory is ours.
Hello and welcome to Company of Heroes 2. New viewers, we're hitting probably like 6,000, 7,000 viewers, which is for our game and our community is a record. And but we are men of belief, us, and we've always believed in this game because it's our favourite game.
It is, yeah. Company Heroes is a great game. It struggled to get to a point. It had great, there are passionate people in the community who said, or who saw something in a game that, as you mentioned, wasn't designed for esports initially, and they turned it into an amazing esport. A competitive game that people can just get involved with, and it looks great and it feels great.
And because it comes from this very kind of niche background from Relic and SEGA, Relic designing their perfect artistic statement in 2006. We watched Band of Brothers. Let's make an RTS that's like that. And that's what they did. And it was like a 93% Metacritic rated game. It was never designed to be this ultimate competitive spectacle. But because of that, it's so much more organic and strategic than a lot of the other games out there, like Dota, League of Legends, and CSGO. They feel very vanilla relative to this game. There's not as much depth for my taste. And I can't go and watch other series now. I'm hooked on this because I know the depth involved. I know the players, I know the personalities, and I know what it takes to be good at this game. And it takes so much. The learning curve is very steep. That's the competitive side, but you guys, unfortunately, are never going to be as good as some of these players, but you do have the chance to play this game, and it is free this weekend.
It is, yep, free to play, and if you download it this weekend, you get it free forever. So it's a really nice thing from Relic to obviously bring new players into the game, show everyone what it's about. It's at a great point in its life. It's the best it has ever been, as you can see from the last game. Lots going on. We've got a great tournament from SEGA, £20,000 put into the prize pool. And earlier when we were talking about the prize pools, we didn't mention the first place winners today will get $5,000 each, which is unheard of in the community. So it's a big step forward for a growing competitive scene. And as for the players, for you guys, what this game has to offer now is a lot better than its initial offering in 2013. It was a little bit of an underwhelming sequel, to say the least. But the development hours and the community support for this game has now pulled it into what I would consider a true AAA and genuine successor to the highest-rated RTS of all time. Company Heroes 2 is now a full-fledged sequel as of 2018, and that's why there's a lot of hype about it at the moment. And the amount of offering it has, it's got a huge new campaign called Ardennes Assault that came out a couple of years ago. That's amazing. It's got more of like a Total War kind of campaign map feel to it, where you choose a company and you bring them up with you, and there's a lot more to it. It's very active right now, so get into it. Shall we have a little look at the stats for that previous game? Absolutely, yeah. So this is just the statistics that came up from the game we just saw, Game 1 of the third place playoffs. DevEmin has... this doesn't really show that anybody made any mistakes. I think in that game it all came down to the start decision of the sniper. Because when you build that tier 1 and then the sniper, it costs a lot. You wait, like 2 minutes maybe before you can get 2 or 3 units on the field. The sniper can't really push and cap territory anyway, so they lost a lot of territory right from the start. And I think actually, we'll be able to see that with the with some of the graphs here right at the start. Do you know what I mean? They didn't really get, like, DevEm got
didn't
nothing
have the best
in
game.
comparison.
He is Soviets, but it does show that he clearly didn't really get as much of a foothold. Isildur's stats are a little bit misleading because OKW start with a Stern Pioneer, which is highly valuable, but it certainly tells a tale of the tape after you get around the 14-minute mark. Absolutely, but a brilliant first game. Doesn't show, though, what can go on in a best of 5. We saw a lot of upsets yesterday for things we thought were going to happen and didn't. But Hans and DevEm, they've got a lot to say. They've got a lot of status in the community. They're going to want to put a lot into Game 2. They're going to want the money as well. There's a big difference between getting $600 each and getting $1,250 each, and that is the third place versus fourth place differential, and that's what they're fighting for. Absolutely. Looks like the next game isn't up yet, so they're going to be going through selections, I believe. Do we have anything that we want to... Well, we'll show you. We're going to show you guys a few trailers now of the stuff you can get. It's all 75% off. Like there's so much good content you can get. You can get the other factions. You get the base game for free. That's Soviets and Wehrmacht, and they're really well fleshed out, and they've got the most possible potential for different strategies. But there's very unique strategies in the other armies, and they're very cheap right now. You've got OKW, USF, which are getting redesigned, which is really hype, and of course the Brits, which have, and for my money, the best voice acting. So here's a little taste of some of the stuff you could be playing.